did say XRP is a security when it comes to institutional sales. Joining me now to discuss is Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple Labs, along with our Kate Rooney. Kate?
Hey, John, good to see you. And Brad, great to see you. Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Good to see you both.
So it's been almost 3 years of litigation. You've been fighting the SEC, and there's been a lot of confusion about what this court decision John mentioned actually means. What is the direct impact for your company, Ripple, and for the broader crypto industry right now?
Well, 2.5 years ago when the SEC first sued us, we said publicly that this wasn't just an attack on Ripple, it was an attack on the entire crypto industry. And I think we did see that play out with the SEC getting more and more aggressive and really trying to regulate through enforcement, which we clearly don't think is a healthy way to do it. I think this is a huge win, not just for Ripple, but for the whole industry. I think it really is the first time the SEC has lost a crypto case and really puts the SEC, some of the SEC's narrative and comments that they make publicly about all of these digital assets being securities, it puts that in check, and I think in a very good way. And hopefully it also drives the legislative process, because it doesn't make sense to try to regulate this through enforcement, but rather let's have clear laws about this that allow rules of the road for all entrepreneurs. The SEC, what we found through their emails and during this litigation is that they even identified that there is a gap, and we saw that in the emails they were exchanging internally. So I think there is a gap, but like any industry, you're going to potentially have bad actors. But the vast majority of people I interact with that are builders and using these technologies to build a better infrastructure for financial transactions, for real estate. There are a lot of different use cases for blockchain and crypto that really can be profound. Ripple has been focused on cross-border payments as a starting point. But look, I think you're going to see an incredible number of use cases for these technologies, and having clear rules of the road allows for the investment, allows entrepreneurs to lean in. I think the SEC just has been wrong as a matter of law, and it has really stifled the innovation here in the United States. I feel very good about what we have seen, not just from the UK, but frankly, I mean, the fact that the European Union, 27 countries came together to create something they called MiCA. And the fact that we can't have one country here in the United States provide any leadership or clarity. But look, John, I'll take the other side of some of what you said. There is now clarity. The rule of law in the United States is clear that XRP is not a security when traded on exchanges, when used for payment. There's a whole bunch of things in the judge's ruling that make it very clear about XRP. The SEC has been clear about Bitcoin also. Now, the unfortunate reality is right now there's clarity for two, Bitcoin and XRP. That's not a good thing. I mean, it might be good for Bitcoin and XRP, but it's the reason why we have been calling for clarity for years, even before this lawsuit. And it's, I think, really a call to action from Congress. You saw representatives like Tom Emmer tweeting yesterday that this really is yet another call to action. And I'm optimistic we're actually going to see some forward momentum in Washington to provide some of the clarity that the SEC has really been fighting in some ways and almost sowing confusion.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And I come back with that video just to make you think.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And we have Brad Garlinghouse on CNBC on the Ripple XRP win. And XRP is not a security because it is a payment protocol. But it is a security if it's sold to institutional investors. And what are institutional investors looking for? That's right, guys, profit. XRP is a commodity. It's there to move money. And a regular consumer can definitely move money, but if you're an institutional investor trying to invest in a product and expecting profits off of that purchase, it is a security. And I hope everyone is reading between the lines. But Brad Garlinghouse talked about regulation, and we have regulation in the EU. And we know going towards the end of the year, the beginning of the year, the United States would start up their regulation. Guys, don't forget, FedNow is this month. These banks need liquidity, but that's the reason why they're starting off small. And we know protocols like Ripple and XRP destroy this current banking model. And that's the reason why the banking crisis was planned 10 years ago. Around the same time Bitcoin came on the scene. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the New World Order. It's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
It's very clear. The rule of law in the United States right now, XRP is not a security on an exchange when you're trading it. And that's just period. That's the rule of law right now in the United States.
Right now.
The SEC may choose to appeal that. Appealing a process that, they can't even file an appeal yet. It would take years for them to get a change there. So, for now, you have clarity around Bitcoin and XRP. I am hopeful, as I said, that we don't stop there, that this is the call to action for Congress to act. And I think, frankly, had the FTX drama of, Q4 2022 not happened, maybe we would have had more forward activity already. But I remain optimistic. And I think this is a major step for the United States, which has been lagging in crypto, and really a lot of the innovation has been moving offshore. This is a major step forward for the whole industry. That's the reason why Coinbase's stock was up 25% yesterday. The crypto industry overall, the market cap of all tokens was up 7 or 8%, I think, yesterday. So, the SEC put out a statement saying that they won. The markets have voted with their pocketbook, the dollars and cents here. And so I think it's very clear this is a very positive thing for the crypto industry.
Some of the venture capital money that went into this space, are they now liable for potentially breaking the law if they bought XRP or Solana or any of those smaller tokens and sold them to retail? What's the implication for institutional investors?
Kate, I think it's a really important question. I think it's been 24 hours since we got this decision. When I step back and look at this, I remind myself that the mission statement of the SEC, the first thing in their mission statement is to protect investors. The irony of what has happened here is that the investors that now the judge has ruled that they're trying to protect are institutional investors who, arguably have the highest acumen and knowledge and, risk understanding. So I think the SEC, in my judgment, should really step back and get grounded by what that core mission is, to protect investors at scale. I think it's to be determined what some of that means for the long tail of institutional activity, but a lot of them are accredited investors to begin with and have various exemptions anyway. So we shall see kind of how that plays out. But again, I think to have the SEC, what I think has been a bullying tactics to just bully the industry into their view of compliance, to have them lose in this case is a big step forward.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold. Bitcoin is an international asset.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. As an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
we're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
Crypto Teacher and the new World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, BitChute, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing, they were still getting that free money. What are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids books. You know I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York from COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.